Hi, and welcome to another episode of The Love Zone. I'm your host, Laline, and I'm joined by motivational speaker, golden mic champ, and urban legend, Ace Got Talk. How you doing, Ace?
Ace Got Talk. Good evening, gorgeous. How you doing?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How's your week been?
It's been really exciting. It's been very exciting, actually. Yes, it's been really, really good. How's yours?
My week has been awesome. A lot of progress.
Fantastic. We can't ask for more than that, can we?
Definitely. And we're here. So all praise due to the Most High.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, we've got a great show for you today. We're continuing on with last week's show, which was platonic relationships, jealousy, and insecurities.
Indeed.
Yes, it was quite an emotive subject to tackle last week. So we're continuing with that because we've got lots of videos and comments to go through.
Definitely. And I think, once again, we started off with talking about the 5 languages of love. And I think right at the beginning, we highlighted that one of the most key, crucial things for any relationship, any healthy relationship, is the ability to communicate.
Absolutely.
And not only the ability to communicate when things are going really well, but also finding the tools to still communicate effectively at the most trying of times. And that's what really shows the strength of a good relationship, having those skills in place.
Absolutely. Being brave enough to tackle things, and communicate about them. It's fantastic.
Definitely. And I mean, that's what this show is all about. You know, because they say men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and relationships are quite complex, you know, and we are audio visual representations of the complexities of a relationship.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I think we are here to actually lead by example.
Yes, definitely. And we're doing a brilliant job, I think.
Absolutely. And once again, as usual, I just want to thank everybody at home. You guys, the audience, you guys are fantastic. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for everybody that's been sending your video clips in. Apologies for the ones we don't get to play. We've got like a backlog of videos we're trying to get out now. And you're going to see a lot of those videos go up on our social media over the next week. Our Instagram, which is?
It is the Love Zone 2020.
Yes. Yeah. And also, if you guys want to send us your relationship dilemmas,
yes.
If you would like to ask Ace and Laline,
yes, send your emails to askus@the-lovezone.co.uk.
Definitely. And once again, I just want to remind the audience that Laline is our resident counsellor. So, guys, if you've got any, counselling inquiries, or you guys, if you're suffering from any kind of relationship trauma, and you want to speak to a professional counsellor, you can email us. Once again, the email address is
askus@the-lovezone.co.uk.
Brilliant. But on tonight's show, we're just going to have some fun and mix it up a little bit and just share our points of view. So,
just our points of view.
So tonight, we'll put a disclaimer: the advice we're giving out is not counselling. But if you want a counsellor, get in touch with us. So, on with the emails.
Okay. So, we have an email here from Lonnie, and she has 2 questions. She says, why is it okay for the black man to date a black woman, but not marry her? That might even be interpreted as have a relationship.
So she says, why is it okay?
Yes, for a black man to date a woman, but not marry her.
I would first ask the question, why has she generalized to only the black man. I think I would say, why is it okay for any man to date a woman and not marry her? I think that's I don't think we should generalize, because it's not a black and white thing.
That's her question. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think in today's day and age, there are a lot of people who are not wanting to get married. There are a lot, and they are of all colours. We do see, though, still some black men getting married to black women, and white men getting married to white women. We do see a lot of marriage going on, but I think this is more of a question of, why is it okay? She's trying to say, why is it okay for a black man to date a black woman, not marry her? I think my point would be, why are you allowing him, if that's what you want, not to marry you? Because I think sometimes we have to say what we want.
Definitely.
But I think sometimes we want that man to want to marry us.
Definitely.
But personally, I don't see anything wrong with asking the man to marry me if that's what I want.
100%.
Yeah. So I think it's about communicating to that person that that's actually what you want to happen.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I mean, just looking at things from a slightly different perspective, and I mean, the question is very broad and it can be tackled from many different angles. But if we look at the current climate right now, what's going on is we've got a lot of young men growing up in households where there are absent fathers. And in my motivational speaking, I often talk about the eagle and the chicken, and the fact that the eagle was born an eagle, but he was put in a nest with chickens. So what I'm saying, it is fair to say that a lot of young men are products of their environment. Sorry, a lot of young black men are products of their environment. So without just pointing the finger and saying, why is it? You have to look a little bit deeper into some of the psychological issues and certain trauma that's going on. So I think it's deep. It's deep, but as usual, what do you guys at home think? Thoughts and comments. Now keep them coming in and we'll read out some of your thoughts on the subject a little bit later. So the question tonight, guys, and it came from Lonnie, is, why do black men feel it's okay to date
a black woman,
but not necessarily marry? We'd like to hear what you guys think. So send us your comments in.
Yeah. The other part of the second one, when is it okay for a black woman to date outside her race?
Is this is this from the same person?
Yes, it is. Yes. When is it okay for a black woman to date outside her race?
Do you want me to go first?
Yes, go first.
I find these questions quite bizarre. Just bizarrely. I'm sorry, but when is it okay? It's a very bizarre question. I think we are all individuals and we all have a choice to make decisions that we feel comfortable with. This should be all right. Let me break it down like this. It's about, once again, limitations that other people put on you.
Yes.
Your friends, your family, society, your environment. And once again, me, I often talk in my motivational speaking about stripping back those limitations, those conditionings, the rights, the wrongs, you know. It's about being free, and just being free to make the decisions as long as you're not harming anybody. My answer is, as long as you're not harming anybody, enjoy yourself. And it's don't worry about what other people think. Because once again, it's not a black and white thing. It's a humanitarian thing. Love has no color.
Excellent. I love that. It's about owning yourself.
Definitely.
We don't have to have permission from anybody
but
ourselves.
Brilliant.
But we do watch and wonder what people think of us. So that's our maybe insecurity. Am I going to be accepted
Mhm.
if I'm dating outside my race?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we have to own ourselves. Quite
Definitely.
what you're saying. It's about being free. We are not here to live our lives for
For other people, yeah,
anybody else.
definitely.
Nobody,
Definitely.
because when we die, we're dying by ourselves.
Yeah,
So
100%.
yeah. So I think, Lonnie, I think it's okay from the moment you decide that's what you want to do that.
100%.
Yeah.
Each to their own.
Mm.
And I mean, I've never been one to follow the crowd,
Mm.
you know. And once again, I do a whole speech about eagles and chickens because, and I would really encourage you to study the eagle as a bird because he's a magnificent animal. And one of the things I constantly say is eagles do not fly in flocks, and it's a fact. An eagle flies at an altitude that is so high. The only other bird the eagle sees at altitude is another eagle. Pigeons, they fly in flocks. Chickens, they huddle on the ground together. But you have to, don't be a chicken, is what I'm saying. Don't be a chicken. Be an eagle. You know, separate yourself from the crowd, spread your wings and fly.
Excellent. One more email, I think then we'll have to move on.
No, that's fine. Take your time. Take your time.
So the next email is from Karen. She says she feels jealous when her partner has his friends over to visit. She feels like she's left out. She'll often go and sit in her own room and not be part of what's going on and feels left out. Is it normal to feel jealous of your partner spending more time with his friends?
Do you want to take the lead on this one?
Okay. I think it's important. We feel jealous. It's thoughts and feelings. So there's something maybe lacking with us, something maybe slightly insecure with us. So it's about, again, having the conversation. You've taken yourself out of that situation. You've taken yourself and then you feel left out. Is it that you're not allowed to join in, or have you just taken yourself out? Is this something you've done in the past? Has this been something in your history when you were growing up? You take yourself out, you feel left out? We have to look at why we're feeling what we're feeling. What thoughts are behind that? Are you saying that you would like to be part of what's going on there? Are you feeling jealous because he's having so much fun? Talk to that person. Is there time for you to have your own space with that person? Is there time? Is there a way that you can actually communicate with them and say, I'd like more of your time? I'd like to have a bit more of a time. I feel like I'm being left out. I'd like to share more moments with you. I think it's about understanding and not being destructive with a jealous feeling. Try and maybe communicate with them.
This one is an interesting one because I think it needs more conversation offline between you and Karen about the dynamics. So I would encourage Karen to email you and maybe start that dialogue because there's so many different dynamics and so many different scenarios of when, you know, a guy's friends come round and, you know, different characters of females would respond in different ways. So you've got some females that are quite quiet and reserved and they're quite happy, have time with your mates while I'm next door, doing my thing, I'm on the phone to my girls or whatever. And then there's other situations where you've got those girls that like to be in the middle and involved and with the lads having bants. So it's an interesting one. And I would also, it depends what his friends are doing next door. Are they all sitting around watching football, having beers? Or, are they playing dominoes? It depends on what are they doing when you're getting shut out. Does that make sense?
Yes, and also how often is that happening?
There you go again.
How often is it happening? And finding a balance.
There you go. Because if it's every night, he's got his mates round and you're next door, then there's a complete imbalance there.
Absolutely.
But if it's on a Sunday afternoon, because the man them all come round and that's his lads' time where they have a couple of beers and he just gets to... Do you get what I'm saying? So it's hard to give an opinion without really understanding
More in depth.
But I think you highlighted a really good point there about the frequency as well. Because if it's every night you've got bare man in the house, bare different friends over every night, and you're just always kind of left to the side. So that's an interesting one. But I'd encourage Karen to email Lillian and let's start the dialogue. And you know, she's good at dissecting this type of stuff.
So send us an email once again to ask us at the-lovezone.co.uk.
Brilliant. And if anybody else there has got any, you know, similar relationship dilemmas or anything else that you want to ask us about, once again, send us your emails. I will endeavor to read them out. You know, I know as usual we got a packed show tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we said we're going to be continuing the dialogue from last week, which is
platonic relationships, jealousy, and insecurity.
So we got thanks to everybody that's been sending in your clips. Are we ready to have the first clip? Yeah, let's have the first clip. Well, we can't.
So, have you ever felt jealous in a relationship? Yes, I have. Jealousy can cause you to experience a range of feelings and emotions, from insecurity to suspicion, to rejection, fear, anger, and anxiety. As humans, this is a natural feeling that a lot of us go through. So, yes.
Yes.
What did you think?
It is. It's exactly what she's saying. It is a range of different emotions that you go through with this. Yeah.
So is it fair to say that everybody feels jealous at some time?
I think jealousy is quite a natural feeling.
Yeah.
It's what we do with that feeling.
Yeah.
Because we can take jealousy of something and use it in a positive way.
Definitely.
You know, we can say, oh, I really like that. Oh, that's really great. You know, I'm going to try and do something like that for myself. Or we can use it in a destructive way. You know, well, why have they got that? You know, and they shouldn't have that. And I just want to just, you know, tear everything down because they've got that. So it's what we do with those jealous feelings. Do we let it overtake us? Do we get jealous and say, well, that person's better than me. I'm never going to be as good as that. And start destroying ourselves.
I think some people do. Well, no,
yes.
and some people even try to destroy other people.
Yes.
Through jealousy.
Yes.
You've got in relationships, you know, I think there's even times when men, not myself, but I've observed men that have been jealous of their partner. So rather than shine and help bring that light out and make her shine light, they'll put that person down and dim her light because he's jealous of her. And he, you know, kind of in his own insecurities as a man, reflects that in the relationship.
100%. That is a very, very powerful thing because a lot of people don't actually realize that's happening on both parts. Sometimes a man doesn't realize that it's the jealousy in him that's trying to dim her light. You know, he may not be realizing he's doing these things, acting out, but not actually realizing the damage that he's actually causing. Yeah. When you meet somebody and they shine bright and they've got a beautiful smile, instead of trying to tear that smile away, you should be encouraging the smile. Some men, as you're saying, they're jealous of that woman's beautiful smile. They don't want another man to see that beautiful smile. So they'll stop the beautiful smile. Jealousy again. It's quite a complex thing, but it is something we all feel, but it's how we manage it. It's about managing the thoughts and the feelings that occur with the jealousy. And
then is it fair to say, just throwing this out there, that equally so that there are a lot of women, there's a lot of women that can be jealous of a man.
Yes.
Especially if they fancy that man and they can't be with that man. So then that jealousy turns into like bitterness. And like I've always said this, it's got talk. Yeah, this is one for the man them. Be careful. Hell have no fury like a woman that's scorned. It's got talk. I would rather go to battle with 1,000 men. Straight. I said this for years. It's not just yesterday. I've been saying it. I'll battle 1,000 men. I don't want to war with one woman. Hell have no no fury like a woman scorned. So I think it's fair to say there's a lot of jealous women out there that can be quite spiteful when they've built up a lot of emotions and feelings towards a man, and then they come to the realization they can't be with that person.
Yes. Yes. And it can affect the family, it can affect the home, and all kinds of things.
The children.
Yes. And I think that is a dangerous thing for people to do.
Definitely.
You know, and that's why it's really important to understand what your jealousy and these destructive things, the damage that can do to not just you, to that person you're jealous, to the children, if there are children involved. It's a very disruptive and really dangerous thing.
Definitely. Should we have the next clip?
Yes, let's have the next clip.
Hi, so have I ever ended a relationship over jealousy? No, I have not. I have ended a relationship over someone being unfaithful, but I've never ended it over jealousy alone.
So okay.
Shout out to Nicola.
Yeah.
Nicola Carter on that one. She should be joining us next week.
Okay,
You know what I
great.
mean? So shout out to Nicola. And she said she's never ended a
Ended.
relationship through jealousy, but she has ended a relationship through someone being unfaithful. Have you ever ended a relationship through jealousy?
No, I haven't ended a relationship through jealousy. No, not to my knowledge. No, and this, when we're saying ending the relationship through jealousy, not to my knowledge. It's a two-way thing, because it could be that you've ended it because somebody's been too jealous of you,
Yeah. Brilliant.
and so you can't breathe
Brilliant.
in that relationship because that person's jealousy.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because I think I would end a relationship in that case, because if it's too destructive.
Definitely. But that jealousy can come out in different ways though, can't it?
Yes.
It can come out in, being very argumentative, being very spiteful, maybe being unloving. Do you know what I mean? It can come out in very many different ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Have you ever ended a relationship through jealousy?
No. To tell you the truth, I don't like to end relationships full stop. One thing about me is I can't stand to see a woman cry. You understand me? So I'd rather them in it than me in it. You know, then we're there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. But we'll delve.
We'll dig down into that one. I'll break that one down another time. I'll break that one down.
Shall we have the next clip?
Yeah, why not?
So, have you ever felt jealous in a relationship? Yes, I have. Jealousy can cause you to experience a range of feelings and emotions, from insecurity to suspicion, to rejection, fear, anger, and anxiety. As humans, this is a natural feeling that a lot of us go through. So, yes.
Shout out to Jojo on that one, man. Big up yourself. She says she's felt jealous in a relationship.
I think we all have. Have you not ever felt jealous in a relationship?
Definitely, but do you know, on another side, because we talked about the kind of vindictive elements of jealousy and the kind of more vicious side of it. But everything in life works on the scale of equilibrium. Yeah. So you've got balanced polarities. Yeah, yin and yang, positive and negative. And going in the other direction with the conversation, I would say that jealousy is a very necessary part of a relationship. You know, because let's say I fancy you. You don't want me to be a little bit jealous if I spend too much time on the next one. You want your man to be a little bit, if you're always out and you got and your man doesn't care. You know what I mean? So even a woman likes her man to feel a bit jealous, like, right or wrong.
I understand what you're saying, but it goes again. How is that jealousy going to be displayed?
Yeah, but it can be, just
when
it's just bad, it's a joke, but you know that your man still, if you're, like, example, all right, watch this now. Me and you in a relationship, and it's 12:30 at night. We wrap up on the sofa and we're watching a little movie and we're eating a little pizza and we're chill out.
Yeah.
And we've been seeing each other for about 2 years now, so a long time we are on. I know your friends and your little circle. your phone rings. It's some man that I don't know, and you're on the phone. Hi, babes. How you doing? I can't talk right now. You know, I'll call you tomorrow. All right, see you later. And I just sit down there casually, my arm around you, eating pizza, carrying on the movie. Wouldn't you feel like you want your man to be a little bit, not even who was that? That's jealous, but do you know what I'm saying? Just that man, who was that? That little bit of like, do you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
what I say,
Yes.
jealousy,
Yes.
I think it's a necessity in the relationship to a certain degree if it's measured. You know, there are people
Absolutely.
that like everybody. There's people get over emotional. So there's all types of emotions that people get carried away with. Jealousy is one of them.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So improportionately, it can be very destructive. But proportionately, I think it's necessary.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think it's a natural thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a natural thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah.
Next one.
I was going to give you one more example.
Go on, give me one example. Give us another example.
Going out with that inappropriately dressed.
Oh, if we go back onto that one, that's gonna. Come on. Let's hear that.
No, I'm just saying.
Inappropriately
Once
dressed.
again, you know, if you're, I'm just trying to just say why sometimes jealousy is necessary. Because if you get inappropriately dressed and your man ain't too concerned, when you feel like right, look, you going out with Sam up here and you don't blink an eye. You want to be noticed. Do you understand?
Okay. Well, going out up to there is one thing, but some guys don't even want to see their partners in something like, you know, a mini skirt.
Showing fresh, yeah, probably a bit of jealousy. There's a bit of jealousy.
But there's a bit of jealousy.
Yeah.
But should she be able to go out in that clothing?
You're asking me?
Yeah. Should she be able to go out in that clothing? Should the woman still be able to go out in the clothing if he feels a little bit jealous? Should she still be able to go out in that?
You're asking me to
Yeah. Just your opinion.
This next brother has permission on what his girl should go out in.
Just your opinion.
Just my opinion.
Just your opinion.
All right, I'll give my opinion. I've dated. I've dated a few ladies, you know, and I've dated the ladies that are quite voluptuous and they like to go out with the cleavage on show and the little split in the side and everything's just hanging out. And I've dated girls that most of the time just like to be in like a pair of jeans or leggings and a jumper. So personally, I think that as a man, it's not about should she be able to go out in that. I think as a man, it's the choices you make in the type of women you date. Because if you met her like that and that's how she was dressed when you met her, you can't meet a woman with a something like that one and a something like that, and now you got her as your wife, your woman, you're telling her don't dress like that. Did you understand me? So I, as a man, personally, I just choose not to date those types of women. That you know, I find myself attracted towards women that don't like to show off themselves disproportionately. I don't mind a skirt and a split and you know, you look elegant. You know, you have to look elegant and carry yourself nice, but you know when someone's got it all on show. Do you know what I mean? So that's my answer.
Excellent. Should we go to the next clip?
Yeah, fantastic. Next clip.
Hi, so have I ever ended a relationship over jealousy? No, I have not. I have ended a relationship over someone being unfaithful, but I've never ended it over jealousy alone.
Is it okay to express jealousy? Have you ever told your partner you're jealous? 100% okay to express your jealousy to your partner. Express how you would feel and talk to them. I have never told my partner that I am jealous. But if it was affecting me in a bad way, mentally, physically, and I was, getting agitated over it, then I would have to let them know how I'm feeling.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
I totally agree with that.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Shout out to Jojo, one of our regular videographers there, you know, always keen to put your comments in. So thank you so much. What did you think on that? Because she said it's actually quite healthy to express your
Yes.
jealousy to your partner. So
Yes.
what do you say about that?
Yeah, in the right way. I mean, you don't just go like a banshee. But I think it's important to say how you're feeling and why you're feeling that way.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that they understand what's going on. They may be completely unaware, you know. And as she was saying, if you're getting anxious and agitated about something, it's really affecting you. So
Yeah.
therefore, that's going to affect the relationship.
Definitely.
So you need to communicate that with your partner
Definitely.
and not be afraid to do that.
Definitely. Sh- It's interesting because next week's show, we're talking about jealousy this week. And if they think this is a touchy one, what are we talking about next week?
Polygamy.
Polygamy.
Polygamy. That's the one.
All right. So we're going from jealousy to polygamy.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but I would agree with you. I think it's very important to express your jealousy if you're feeling that way to your partner. You know, because there are times when, like I said, it might be the small things that can actually be rectified.
Yes.
You know, and I'll give you another example. You might be dating somebody. Like I'll give myself as an example. Hypothetical. I might be. No, I'm not using myself, but it's the same example anyway. You might be dating somebody. It doesn't matter if it's a man dating a woman or a woman dating a man, and they've got somebody of the opposite sex that phones them because that's the platonic friend.
Yes,
yeah, it's one
platonic.
One of those platonic friends they've got, right? But that person might phone them at an inappropriate time. So you say, look, I'm not going to get in the way of your friendship with so and so. Yeah, that's fine. You got your friendship. That's cool. But after a certain time of night, I don't think he should be calling you. That's a decent way, I would say. I don't know, to express maybe about a bit of jealousy. That why is he calling you at this time of night? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, we had Enrico on last week who actually said the same thing. He's got a platonic friend that when he's in a relationship, he's had to stop and put boundaries in place with that platonic friend because when he's not in a relationship, they could talk whatever hours. But it had caused friction in his relationship. So he had to put boundaries in place to say, like, you know, we have to cut down the calls late at night and so forth and things like that because it might make the other person feel uncomfortable.
Definitely.
And that's fair enough.
Definitely. It's interesting how you look at these conversations at different stages in your life and you have different opinions on the subject.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
And I've often said this, that how you view relationships in your 20s and how you view relationships in your 30s and how you view relationships in your 40s and 50s and 60s is completely different because you're at different mental stages.
Absolutely.
You know, because and even how you manage and govern some of those friendships, you probably would change at different stages in your life. Because I remember when I was young, I used to have a lot of platonic friends, and it didn't really concern me how that affected the relationships I was in with a partner I was in at the time. Because they're my friend, you see me? But being older, more wiser, more experienced, and now looking at some of the situations and how the dynamics of those situations played out, I could see now how not putting the right boundaries in place can be quite damaging.
Yes.
To your relationship.
Yes, it can. And especially if you say, like, when you was younger, you didn't really think about it, then that could cause that person to feel those kind of jealousy because they're feeling a bit insecure. Because there's no boundaries put in place. That's your friend. And that's what we're talking about. And it's really, this is why communication is key. And wanting that person that you're with to feel important and valued. So they're important. How they feel is so important. And when we take that on board, you know, when they communicate something to us and we take it on board, we have to look at it. Okay, this is making that person feel like that. Okay, what can I do to alleviate that? Because I value that person and I don't want to be causing that for that person.
Deep. This takes me back to something the email you read right at the start of the show,
Mm.
where Lolly asked,
Mm.
why don't black men
Mm.
want to necessarily marry?
Mm.
And I gave one of the causes being that environments, you know, you can be a product of your environment,
Mm.
you know, and statistics show that, you know, and I don't like to use the stigma, but if you come from a particular household, you're more likely to end up having children in under those same conditions. And if you look at the facts, it's there to say that's actually what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But value, I think, is another one.
Mm.
I don't think, and I'm throwing this out, they call it a flippant statement, young men, young black men necessarily value or respect or understand the significance or the importance of forming long-term life relationships, i.e. marrying the partners of their children, etc. I don't think that they understand the value.
Mm.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And if that
Yes.
value has never been taught,
Yes.
how do you expect it to be there?
Absolutely.
You've got young men growing up with no direction,
Mm.
no male role models to give them that support system they need. You reach an age where you hit puberty, you're now a bag of hormones.
Mm.
You got these hormones explode. Remember, facts, 100,000 little tadpoles that need to blow every day for a man. And every day, a man is his biological makeup is designed to.
Mm-hmm.
So can you imagine? It's a recipe for disaster.
Mm.
And as we can see, as we know, this is why we've got so many teenage pregnancies and so many young. Well, this is some of the reasons that contribute to the fact, should I say, why we've got the situation where we're at. So I think value is important, and I think
Yes.
that will only change through education,
Absolutely.
and not just education by telling, but actually leading by example.
Exactly. This is what I say. We cover this back in some shows, that it is important when they're teaching these children, and we won't go too deep into it, when they're teaching about sexual education, they need to also teach them about emotions and values and respects and things like that. And that's not what's being taught. And that's what's lacking. Yeah.
100%, 100%, 100%. I mean, we did talk about this on a few shows, and I would go back once again to just go back to the point. I don't think we should rely on the government
No,
to,
we
because
can't.
they're not going to. They're not going to. It's something that we need to implement.
Yes, definitely. It's definitely, but I still think that we need to lobby the government to do something about that. We need to do something about it, because it's no point just giving them part of the education.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yes, as a responsible parent, but there again, there are parents who are not going to be responsible, so the education will not be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Can the damage that's been done be reversed?
Yes. I believe it can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it can. It takes, as you were saying, education. It takes, as you're saying, a lot of leading by example, a lot of conversations, a lot of communication, a lot of us putting out there that there's more to than just going out there and just not valuing people,
Yeah.
not valuing relationships, not valuing women, not valuing men, and just seeing it as a very casual, unimportant thing. Yeah. Yeah, I think it can be done, but it's going to take work. What do you think?
I was just quickly logged into the Facebook. Shout out to everybody on the Facebook, logged in, logged on. Shout out to all your comments coming. I want to say big hello. Shout out to Sonia Spencer. Shout out to Rachel Griffin. Yeah, and shout out to everyone that's commenting in below on the Facebook there. What do I think in relation to?
Can it be reversed? You said, can it be reversed? Can the damage be reversed?
It's what we're working on, right? It's what we're working on for a process of education, but it's gonna take a lot. it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a lot. It's
Mm.
not just a drop in the ocean's gonna do it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, 100%. But there's people of all ages who are unaware. But if we can start putting messages out there and putting information out there for the younger generation, it's hopefully it will pass on and pass on and pass on.
See, I was having this conversation with somebody earlier. I can't remember who I was on the phone to today, and they were saying to me, they said, Ace, we were talking about, organizations, community organizations, all these different groups, whatever. They're saying everybody talks about, I'm just putting this out there, just throwing this out there, everybody talks about the younger generation, and we need to teach the younger generation this, and we need to teach the younger generation that, we need to teach the younger generation. But all of these children that we're going to teach, they live somewhere.
Yes.
They live in a house. They've got parents. And I think equally as important, the parents need educating. Do you know what I mean? Because it doesn't matter how much you teach the kids, it starts in the home.
Yes.
You know?
No, I agree with you. 100%. It's just that some homes, some people, I'm totally agree with you. I'm like very holistic.
Yeah.
I feel like teach the whole family.
Yeah.
But there are some people who don't want to learn at their age. They can be quite stubborn about the way they feel about things, how life is. It's just this way. Some people can just be very stubborn in their beliefs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, holistically, let's teach everybody. But I just think it's really important because the younger generation, their whole thought pattern hasn't been subliminally. It's not. They've still got time to change their way of thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But their neural networks ain't quite automatically formed into that way of being. So while if we can get them earlier, we can actually plant the seed and help that neural pathway.
Definitely. And I just want to say one more time, I was just smiling because Sonia Spencer, she said, shout out to everyone in Ghana. Guyana, sunny Guyana. The dots connected, The beautiful, gorgeous Guyanese goddesses. Oh, I'm to them. So shout out to you, my darling, all the way over there. Don't forget, everybody logged in to share. Those logged in on the Facebook, please share on your Facebook groups. Those on the YouTube, share. And hit that like button, man, because you want to get as many likes, pump up that algorithm. You know what I mean? So as usual, time is just rapidly flying. We've got another 2 more clips to get through. And guys, remember, don't forget, if you've got any one more clip, shout out to the producer there. He just put his finger out and said we've got one more clip. So we've got one more clip to get through. And once again, guys, if you've got any relationship dilemmas, be sure to drop us an email. The email address is
askus@thelovezone.co.uk.
Yeah, ask us at the Love Zone. Also, you can follow us on our Instagram page, which we're gonna hammer it this week. We're gonna get all your clips up and stuff like that. What's the Instagram?
The Love Zone 2020.
The Love Zone 2020. And moving forward, this year is nothing but love. So we got one more clip to get through. And okay, also guys, once again, if I'm losing my trail of thought. It's got to talk to polygamy next week. Polygamy. So before next week, what we want, guys, is I need your clips in. We want to know what's your thoughts on polygamy. Oh, it's going to be an interesting show because I've got my views and they're interesting. Not because I experienced polygamy from when I was a child going to a primary school, but we'll talk about that next week. So I got introduced to this concept from a very early age, and I've got a lot of friends that have been married to 4 wives, 2 wives, trios, and I've seen the dynamics of how well their wives have got on, like sisters, all in the kitchen cooking together. Yeah, it's got talk. Boom. So we're going to talk and chop that up next week. Polygamy. We're going from jealousy this week to polygamy. And when we go into this subject next week, you need to look at this because you got people that would argue against polygamy, right? But at the same time, you got the whole mistress. Because you've got a lot of women that are happy to be a man's mistress. So we're gonna get into into it. Right, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get into it next week.
But you know that polygamy goes both ways. You know, you have polygamy, which is the man, and polyandry, which is the woman. So the woman could have more than one husband.
No, but we said next week's subject was about polygamy.
Yes, which polygamy covers both of those.
It covers both of those.
Yes, you know, I'm all for the equality.
you and your quality. Right? What's good for the goose is
Absolutely.
good for the gander.
Absolutely.
Yeah? So, it's going to be very interesting, you know, because that just opens up a whole nother
Yes.
can of worms.
Absolutely.
Right, and oh Lord have mercy. Right, here we go. Right. Just when the white flag came out, hey, just when the white flag came out, you had to go there, didn't you? Right? So, Lord have mercy. So yeah, all that next week. So we can leave your videos in and your emails so we can read them out. What's your views? Sunny Ghana, I want a video from Ghana next week. I want to know what has got that right. Guyana. I want to know what does Guyana say about polygamy, right? Yay or nay? And what's the other one?
So polygamy.
No, the other one, the female one,
Polyandry.
Polyandry. What do you think about polyandry?
Yeah, and the guy, if it's a man have more than one wife, it's called polygyny. Polygyny.
Mhm.
Yeah, and if it's a woman has more than one husband, it's called polyandry. And so, yes, tell us what you think. Is it okay to be a polygamist? For the woman to have more than one husband? What's your views on that? And for a man to have more than one wife, what's your view on that?
Shout out to Stunt Legacy, another one. You know, I love you guys. You know, I love the regulars that are you're always sending in your comments and you're always staying up. Shout out to all our regulars that are commenting. I've got a comment from Stunt Legacy. Would you like to read it out? Yeah, the top one. Right. Yeah. This is an interesting one. Just read that.
Okay.
Read the top. Just read the first one.
Women function on emotions. Men generally function on logic. I find it far worse when a female is jealous. At the same time, it is a requirement for women to be jealous to stimulate their emotions.
I didn't say a word. Right. I didn't say a word. What do you think, darling?
I don't necessarily agree, Stunt Legacy. I don't know if we have to be jealous to stimulate our emotions.
What about the first part, with the first sentence?
The first, women function on emotions.
And men function on logic. Would you agree with that?
No, because personally, I'm a very logical person. And I believe men, we covered this, men are just as emotional as women. They display it differently sometimes, or sometimes they don't even display the emotions, but they feel them. So the emotions are there. So no, I can't agree with you, Stunt Legacy.
Can I jump on that point?
Yes, you can jump on that point.
Right. So Stunt Legacy, thank you, my brother. Regular, contributor to the Love Zone. So thank you for that. Women function on emotions, men function on logic. I'm gonna have to agree with my co-host. That's incorrect. Actually, we both have the same amount of masculine and feminine energy. But what happens a lot of the time is got talk. Wait for it. Men are disconnected to their feminine sides. They're not in touch with that. They try to be too masculine, so they have an imbalance. You know, and there's nothing wrong with being in tune with your feminine energy. In order to have perfect balance and harmony in your life, you have to be equally in tune with the masculine and the feminine energy. So that's science. It's got talk. But thanks for your comments. So one more point on the what you made, which was brilliant. You smashed it. You said men are equally as emotional as women, but we display it differently. Perfect. Whereas sometimes I'm going to give you the two stereotypical examples. A woman might break down and cry, where a man might be. They're feeling the same emotion. They just express it differently. So I would agree with you on that point. Thank you very much. There's another comment there from Stunt Legacy. You want to read that one?
In the Western marriage to Western-minded women, it's not worth it. From my experience, a lot of women want to get married but don't want to be wives.
Bravo! Bravo!
Bravo!
Well done, my brother. You know, interesting point there. Interesting point there. You want to read that one again? Interesting point, you know. Like,
Stunt Legacy says, in the Western marriage to a Western-minded woman, it's not worth it. From my experience, a lot of women want to get married, but don't want to be wives.
brilliant. And that's in relation to the email that Lolly put earlier, where she said, why don't black men want to get married? So I'm just saying, good point.
Good point. And I will have to say, I would have to say that works both ways, Stunt Legacy. There are a lot of men who get married who don't want to be a husband. They don't want to value the relationship at all.
Brilliant. They just want a maid to cook, clean, and wash them clothes.
Yes.
Brilliant. True.
So I think,
True.
again, before you go and get married, understand what that person wants in a marriage. What do they value about marriage? What does it mean for them to be a wife? What does it mean for them to be a husband? That is the conversation that needs to be had, because that way you'll understand whether you are actually going to be getting yourself a wife,
Brilliant.
or if you are going to be getting yourself a husband.
Brilliant.
It's the only way to find out.
Brilliant.
It's no point us thinking, oh yeah, I like this guy because of this, that, and the other, and so forth. Yeah, we're getting married. It's all great, and we're having a fantastic, expensive wedding. It makes no sense if you haven't drilled down and done the work. Who are you marrying?
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And then that goes to it opens the whole can of worms on the question of why do people get married?
Yes.
You know, because nowadays a lot of people don't get married for love, and I always put that out there. People get married for financial reasons, security. It goes back to, I think it was Lolly earlier, and that they'll marry into the same caste or religion or ethnicity based on, once again, those conditionings. And I can speak firsthand, and some of the audience that are watching, they can relate to what I'm saying. You know, we could give example the Gujarati community. I've got a lot of Gujarati friends, female friends, that there's a lot of pressure on them to marry a Gujarati guy, regardless of what their preference is. So I know Lolly asked the question earlier, was it
black?
When is it okay?
Yes.
I know there's a lot of you know, Asian girls that fancy men of other ethnicities, but because of the social pressures put on them, because of the family pressures put on them, etc. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it goes back to, you know, being free. You know, some people won't do things because, you know, their father would disown them. So it's deep. It deep.
Really, really is. And again, it's that sense of freedom.
Yeah.
You know, we're on this earth, and if we have to be living our lives for that other person to feel their need satisfied, because that's what it is, it's somebody else's need being satisfied, then you lived the life you were supposed to.
Yeah, can we swap pads?
Yes, sorry.
Right at the end, you don't always do this, right? Right at the end, the comments start firing in and the things start warm up, yeah? Right? Shout out to Legacy then. We 7 minutes now, you don't want to get. But Stunt Legacy says, tell me what you think of this. Women do not respect and are not attracted to emotional men.
I don't agree.
Men who are emotional can come across as being feminine.
We had this, didn't we? When we were saying about the, you know, showing too much emotion and blubbering and things like that. I don't agree. I respect a man who can show how he feels about a situation. I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect hearing that. I understand you better.
Yeah, I mean, Stunt Legacy, I made it clear that you got to be in touch with both emotions, yeah? But I said balance.
Yes.
Right? You don't want to be a wussy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I said just being in touch. There's a way where you can be in tune with your feminine side and in tune with a female without being a crybaby. Do you know what I mean? It's balanced once again. He also says here, the same goes for men. We're not attracted to masculine women. I'd agree with you there. I'm not attracted to masculine women. I don't like butch women. I don't like women. You go too far.
Be careful.
I was gonna say with short hair. That's my preference. I don't like women with short hair. I don't like it. I don't like when they shave their head. No, barbershop. No, I don't like when I go in the barbershop and I see a woman getting a trim. You know, like they're sitting in the chair and getting a one and a fade. I'm like, no. You should be in the barbershop. There's short and neat, but not barbers. There's people they get a markup one and a
I
fade.
have to disagree.
I'm just saying that's my
Yes,
preference.
okay.
Right.
My preference is, I've got a friend who I met with the other day, and she's just cut her hair very, very low and gone platinum in the color, and she looks stunning, absolutely stunning. And I would defy anybody to say that she doesn't look beautiful.
Say no more. I told you I didn't want to put my foot in it with that one. You know what I mean? That's how I went too far. Own my mistakes. We're running out of time, but I want to shout out to Hyacinth, who says to you, yes, my sister, you're on point. I also want to shout out to Rihanna Thomas. Yeah, big up yourself, Rihanna, who says, I agree, both parties need to play their part in a marriage 100%. And that was in relation to what you said about understanding what it is you're getting into before you marry somebody.
Absolutely.
Right? I just want to read out a couple of more comments. Oh, my darling, my baby, shout out to Cheryl logged in, locked on. Big up yourself over there in sunny Uxbridge. Shout out to you and the whole family logged in, logged on. You know what I'm saying? Sweet vibration. You done with the tick. They got to, and the goddess, Lillian. Oh, what's up, what I feel like. Guys, we're out to the last 5 minutes. We've got one more clip, right? We're gonna get that on shortly. And guys, next week the conversation is polygamy. So we want your videos, your clips, your emails on polygamy, so we can read them out. We can really chop it up and to see how we're gonna go with that one. So let's have the last clip from tonight.
Is it okay to have a platonic relationship when you're in a relationship? For me, I would say yes. I think this is something that comes down to trust. A lot of this is to do with trust. You need to be able to trust your partner, that their friendships are just friendships. And obviously, with no trust, it really makes no difference whether they are or they aren't, because you need to be able to trust a person. You can't control a person or dictate who they can and can't speak to. And so it literally all comes down to trust. If a person wants to cheat, they will cheat. Whether you know about it or not, they will do it. So you have to be able to trust who you're with. Also, in terms of personal friendships, you have to know yourself. Are these platonic relationships? Are these just friendships? Or are you aware that the other people actually do have feelings towards you or have other intentions? You have to use some discernment and not put yourself in a predicament which can cause you to slip into being unfaithful yourself.
That is absolutely 100% on point.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Guys, it's been an amazing show. We're down to the last 3 minutes. I want to read out 2 more comments really quickly, and I want to just shout out to Nicola Carter on that clip, because that clip has got so much to dissect. Yeah, I think we'll start next week's show, because we're gonna have her in the show hopefully next week anyway. She's gonna be on, so we'll start next week's show just dissecting that the whole platonic relationship and the feelings involved maybe from the other party. But just want to shout out to everybody in the US coming in, the comments coming from everyone in America logged on, and I want to shout out to JB. Interesting comment from JB. JB says men and women are equal but different. Black women have been unanswerable to no one for 40 years. What's your comments on that?
Yes.
Eureka! A breakthrough!
No. We do have to own, our mistakes, and so we are answerable. If we've made mistakes, we must own them.
Yeah.
Yes, but yes, we are free to do as we wish.
Brilliant. You heard that here first. They're free to do as they wish. Yeah? And us brothers, don't we know it?
Times are changing.
The tables have turned. All right. You want to close the show?
Well, you say goodbye and then I will close the show.
All right. Right. See, there's no more ladies first anymore. You see what I mean? Right. So, guys, once again, all the comments that have come in from all our regular listeners, our first time comments that come in. Guys, thank you all. It's been an absolute pleasure. Join us here next week, same time, 8 p.m. I want to say a big shout out to MediaNet TV. Shout out to the producer. Shout out to everyone else working effortlessly behind the scenes to keep this dream and make this thing a reality and keep it alive. And also shout out to the beautiful, the gorgeous, the right Empress, my co-host, Lillian.
Thank you, Ace. It's really been great, guys. Thank you for all your comments. Send us your emails. It's going to be a great subject, polygamy. Women, let's hear your views. Men, let's hear your views. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Salute.
Bye.